Imagine a GTO with a touch of Euro flair. That's basically what the Grand Am aimed to be. Under the hood, the optional 455 V8 delivered 250 net horsepower and 380 torque, enough to give it some respectable punch despite the era's tightening emission standards. In the May 1973 issue of Motor Trend magazine, the 455 Grand Am managed to haul its 4,000-pound self down the strip in 15.7 seconds. Inside, you got more Euro-inspired quirks like padded dash panels and a futuristic wraparound cockpit that looked more like a fighter jet than a boulevard cruiser. Oh, and let's not forget those massive Endura bumpers. They were supposed to be impact-resistant, but mostly just looked like they were designed to intimidate lesser cars off the road. Number 8. The '73 Javelin AMX featured AMC's formidable 401 V8 engine, delivering 255 horsepower and 345 torque. Despite AMC's smaller size than the big three automakers, the Javelin AMX offered robust performance, covering the quarter mile in 15.4 seconds, as reported by Road Test magazine. With its aggressive, flared fenders and dramatic ducktail spoiler, the Javelin AMX had a look all its own. Part Trans Am racer, part Saturday morning cartoon villain. Imagine trying to outrun that. Despite its cool looks and killer performance, the AMX 401 was a tough sell in the smog-choked 70s, with only a few thousand finding homes. It disappeared after 1974, making the '73 model one of the last gasps of AMC muscle. Number 7. Buick's Stage 1 package was already a legend by 1973, having carved out a reputation for turning luxury barges into tire-shredding torque monsters. Under the hood sat a massive 455 V8 engine, conservatively rated at 270 horsepower and a pavement-rippling 390 torque. When it came to straight-line performance, the GS Stage 1 455 wasn't playing around. According to the July 1973 edition of Motor Trend, a '73 GS achieved a best quarter-mile run of 15.3 seconds, reaching 90 miles per hour. Not exactly earth-shattering, but respectable for a heavyweight luxury coupe in the era of emissions-strangled power plants. And despite its muscle car pedigree, the GS Stage 1 was still a Buick, meaning it came with plush seats and enough chrome trim to blind you on a sunny day. Number 6. By 1973, the Charger had evolved from its sleek Coke bottle days into a larger, more luxurious cruiser, but that didn't stop Dodge from cramming a massive 440 V8 under the hood. The SE trim, short for Special Edition, brought a touch of class to the brawler with a vinyl roof, hidden headlights, and enough opera windows to start a rock band. The 440 was rated at a modest 280 horsepower and a massive 380 torque. At the drag strip, the Charger SE 440 laid down a quarter-mile time of 15.2 seconds, clocking in at around 93 miles per hour. Not exactly Hellcat territory, but hey, it was still enough to put the hurt on most of the competition. Number 5. Though the smallest displacement among top performers, the high-revving 340 cubic-inch V8 churned out a respectable 240 horsepower. With a 4-barrel carburetor and a dual exhaust, the 340 engine managed to squeeze out a respectable quarter-mile time of 15.16 seconds. Not exactly setting the drag strip on fire, but quick enough to embarrass plenty of lesser cars at a stoplight. The '73 Cuda kept the muscle car swagger intact with its iconic, shark-like front end, bold graphics, and optional billboard stripe package that screamed, "Yes, I am loud and proud, even if I'm not the fastest thing around." Inside, the Cuda still rocked bucket seats and a rally-style instrument cluster, keeping things sporty even as the performance was getting more polite. Number 4. By 1973, the 442, once a fire-breathing street machine, had morphed into a full-size muscle cruiser, but it still had some fight left under that long hood. Powered by a 455 V8, The 442 was pushing out 270 net horsepower and a hefty 370 torque. That was still enough grunt to light up the tires, even though the car was now more of a luxury bruiser than a street brawler. According to the April 1973 edition of High Performance, a 73 442 clocked a best quarter-mile time of 14.9 seconds, reaching 97.3 miles per hour. The 442 still looked the part, with bold stripes and aggressive dual hood scoops. But inside, it was more plush than punishing, with comfy bucket seats and a dashboard that looked like it was ripped straight out of a Cadillac. Despite being overshadowed by its Wildhurst old sibling, the 442 still had a solid fan base, thanks to its classic Oldsmobile muscle car DNA. Number 3. In 1973, the mighty GTO had traded in some of its muscle car mojo for a softer, more civilized vibe. The top engine option was the 455 V8, a hulking power plant that cranked out 250 net horsepower and a hefty 380 torque. Sure, it was a far cry from the fire-breathing Ram Air 4 days, but it could still throw down on the quarter-mile strip. When tested by High Performance Cars magazine, the car managed a quarter-mile run in 14.7 seconds at 91 miles per hour. Not bad for a car that was starting to look more like a chubby, disco-bound cruiser than a street brawler. Number 2. By 1973, the once high-revving LT1 had been shelved, replaced by a more emissions-friendly 350 V8 pumping out 245 net horsepower. According to the July 1973 edition of CarCraft, a 1973 Camaro Z28 achieved a quarter mile of 14.69 seconds at 96 miles per hour. Sure, the smog-controlled engine wasn't setting any new records, but that quarter-mile time still let it flex on plenty of other cars at the stoplight. And with its 3.42 rear gears and 4-speed manual, it could still chirp the tires with a well-timed clutch drop. Visually, the 73 Camaro Z28 kept the Street Fighter vibe going strong. It had bold stripes running across the hood and deck lid, a sinister split-bumper front end, and those unmistakable rally wheels that looked like they belonged on a racetrack. Number 1. While the rest of the muscle car world was putting on polyester suits and trying to go respectable, the Trans Am 455 SD was still out there cracking knuckles and making noise. Pontiac's engineers, clearly working some serious overtime, snuck this beast past the bean counters and EPA regulators, creating what was arguably the last true muscle car of the era. Under that aggressive shaker hood sat the mighty 455 Super Duty V8, a thundering behemoth cranking out 310 net horsepower and 395 torque. And on the quarter-mile strip, the SD 455 meant business, ripping off a blistering 13.54-second run at 104.3 miles per hour. In 1973, that was enough to blow the T-tops off just about anything else on the street.